Are you thinking about leaving New York City? Well, you are not alone. So today we are going to dive into the top reasons why people are leaving New York City, from the high cost of living to the crowds everywhere. And you might even find yourself nodding along at the end. But make sure to stick around until the end because I'm going to give some advice for those of you who are still weighing your options. Hello, and welcome to Luxury Living NYC. I'm Erin Wheelock, your global real estate professional, where we specialize in helping people navigate this busy world of New York City real estate. Whether you're thinking about leaving New York City or spending your time here, let's get down to the insights that are going to help you make that decision. Let's start out at number 7. We are going to talk about those who are looking for a slower lifestyle. Let's be honest, if you are moving to New York City, it's probably because you want that fast-paced, hustle lifestyle, right? And a lot of people love that lifestyle for a while. Lots of times though, there tends to be a moment in someone's life where they say, "Ugh," and they're ready to get out of it. Maybe one too many people cutting them off, whether they're walking and crossing the streets or driving around. If you are looking for that slower lifestyle, it is definitely time to get out of here. I mean, even just entering and exiting buildings, right? Waiting for an elevator when you get home at the end of the day. Waiting for the elevator when you're getting ready to leave in the morning. Always fast-paced, always on the go. Whenever I'm with people, friends, or I'm actually touring people around in New York City, if we're walking, oftentimes I have to remember to slow down. Especially when we go to Europe, right? And when Europeans come here, very often they're moving at a slower pace, right? Or a warmer pace, I guess. I don't know. But if you are thinking about a slower pace, I bet you're thinking about leaving the city of ours. All right, number 6, climate. Oh my gosh. I have to tell you, this winter is kicking my little hiney over here. We were in the teens earlier this week. Today, I think it's a high of 24. I was not made for this weather. And so I understand so many people who are getting out of here because they were not made for this weather either. And let me be crystal clear when I talk about this. So I know a lot of us have drivers or we're taking Ubers, cars around. However, we're still gonna be walking around more than I think you would in probably every other place that you live. When you have to be ready for the weather, that means being completely weathered to go in and out, hot and cold, constantly, right? Because you bundle up to be as warm as you possibly can be. You're probably walking for a bit, freezing in the elements, and then you're going in someplace, you get warm for a little bit, but then you go outside again and you freeze, and that warmth is now freezing on you. Yeah, this climate is definitely one that people are trying to leave this year. I know a lot of people are saying that their bones are feeling it more this year. They want to get down to a beach, something warmer, somewhere that they don't have to experience the cold. The other thing with the cold here is if somebody isn't doing their job and they're not getting all the snow away, it's freezing and then you're walking through ice. I know many times, especially this winter, I have these giant boots that have treads on them and I have to walk around in that because it can get slippery when you're out there. So I'm freezing, trying not to slip. Yeah, don't even get me started on the snow. When it snows in New York City, there's really nowhere to put it. So sometimes you can put that snow into the Hudson, which I'm pretty sure they do. And then other times it really starts to mound up in the corners. So you do need like knee-high willies so that you can go through these mounds of snow that within a few hours turns into brown gunk that you are trying to either jump over, but then when you jump over, don't slip on the other side, or walk your way through. Oh, the weather. Number 5 is probably no surprise to you, but it's the traffic. Not only is it the traffic, but now there's this added congestion price. I was actually talking to some people and I actually saw it on the news as well. If you commute into the city, let me tell you, this is no different if you already live in the city. Once you hit those meters, if you're in an average sized vehicle, it's gonna add a lucky $500 to your fees every month. I mean, oh my goodness. It's hopefully going to cause less traffic, but let's be honest, it's New York City. There's always going to be traffic. So you're going to have traffic, the higher fees because of these congestion fees, and then also parking. They did make some changes in New York City just 2 to 3 years ago where developers were limited in the amount of parking spaces that they were able to offer to the home purchasers in the buildings. So you used to have these buildings that were, 100, 200 units, and they had 100 to 150 parking spaces that they were going to be able to sell to the homeowners. However, recently it's gone down to about 20% of the units they're allowed to make parking spots for and then sell those. So if you have a car, you might be thinking now's the time to get out of the city or join the mass transit world with the rest of us, because I feel like it gets you around faster, but traffic. Number 4, and maybe my least favorite, the taxes. We have so many taxes that we have to pay here in New York City. It is absolutely ridiculous. So not only are you, of course, paying federal, state, but then we also have our city tax. City tax is pretty hefty, and we also tax everything. I mean, the second you get into a cab with all of the taxes now, I'm pretty sure it's like $8 just for the joy of sitting. Not to mention the taxes that you have on your food and other goods that you might purchase. I will say one thing though, LLCs in New York City, they actually probably have some of the better fees associated with taxes versus some of the other states. I guess we have one thing going for us. Number 3, a lot of people are leaving the city in droves if they are looking for remote work opportunities. And I understand that, right? I actually had a friend who was still working their New York City job, still getting paid their New York City wages, but they were literally living in Dubai and living their best life. I know other people that moved down to Florida. They're working from a beach, but still with their New York City job. I mean, these opportunities, who knows how long they're gonna stick around, but for a lot of people, they wanna get away from those taxes, the traffic we spoke about, noise, I mean, so many things. And if they have that remote working opportunity, a lot of people are getting out of the city and taking advantage of that. Number 2, so we are going to talk about housing affordability and space. No joke, no joke. My very first apartment in New York City, it was 7 by 14, and that included the kitchen. It was so small that I had to sleep on a futon. I couldn't even open it up. Welcome to New York City. If you want to live here and you are just getting used to the city, you don't already have something lined up, you may unfortunately have to be paying a ton of money for a very small space. I would say that some of these spaces in most homes outside of New York City would be considered walk-in closets. I mean, even now in New York City, when you get to an average price point, they would probably be considered walk-in closets. However, that average price point is in the millions. So that's what you get. In New York City, your kitchens are going to be smaller than usual. If you really like to cook, you might have a little bit of a harder time trying to find something that has the same amount of space as you would have elsewhere, or be willing to pay for it. And number 1, which I think I've pretty much alluded to, but it's the high cost of living. I mean, let's be honest, if you don't care about having everything delivered to you, having 5 coffee shops downstairs that are all amazing, having every type of food ready and waiting for you anywhere you go, then you probably are leaving New York City because it's so expensive to live here. However, if you like all of those amazing conveniences, that's why you stay and that's why you pay the price that things are at. But if you don't need any of those conveniences anymore, I'm sure you are one of the people who is getting out of the city. If you've been thinking about getting out of the city, but you're still not sure, well, I would love to help you explore your options. Whether you're looking for a home that better suits your needs or you want to know what else is out there, I'm here to take you through all of that. Now, if this video resonates with you and you're thinking about getting out of the city like so many others, please feel free to reach out. We would love to help you make that process as smooth as possible, whether we can put you in touch with an agent somewhere else or we can help you with your selling process. Feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the box below. And of course, we at the Wheelock team, we would always love to be your global real estate team of choice. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.